Gen Z musician Gracie Abrams releases an album-length apology to her mom. TikTok influencers are promoting injectable peptide weight loss drugs. And what parents should know about Kylie Jenner's new collaboration with Meta Smartglasses. Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm Evan Barber, and I'm here today with Irene Tucker and Tobin Heim in the studio, as well as our producer Jordan Hall in the studio, and with Jenna Mendel joining remotely from California. If you're new to the podcast, each week we look at three big cultural conversations that we think are shaping the world teens are growing up in one way or another. We also start each episode with a trending song, slang term, or access resource, and our goal is to help you translate pop culture to start deeper conversations with the next generation about life, faith, purpose, relationships, technology. This week's slang of the week is the phrase, quiet on the creek.
And Tobin already implemented it this morning.
I've already used that twice today. I love this.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, right?
Okay.
Like 6, 7, I never got that.
Yeah.
I'm too old. I'm like, I don't know what that is or how to use it.
Uh-huh.
Quiet on the creek.
Tell us about
It's
it, Evan.
intuitive.
It's like keeping it on the down low, right? Like,
Well,
so you know what? I'm going to have to keep it quiet on the creek.
So here's my understanding is that originally it literally referred to being quiet on a creek because you're on a fishing trip
Yep.
and you don't want to scare the fish.
Don't scare
So it
the
actually
fish.
comes from like a wholesome place.
Best
It's
I can
slang
tell.
that
Now,
comes
there's
from-
probably some double entendre in there somewhere that I don't know. But
Jenna would know. Is there double entendre to quiet on the creek?
Well, it originated from a song and video by the rapper Saucy Santana. So they are referring to childhood fishing trips, which sound wholesome, but rap, tends to not be the most wholesome genre.
With the name like
so-
Saucy Santana, I'm assuming it's not probably coming from the healthiest place.
I don't know. It may not be, but it may. This may be literally originally about a fishing trip. You compared it to 6, 7 a minute ago, though. That's kind of part of the joke, is that people are being purposefully unclear about what it means. And the response when someone's like, what does this mean? Is often, well, I would tell you, but I got to be quiet on the creek, so I can't.
I love it. I love it.
So it's kind of playing into some similar vibes. What were you going to say, Irene?
I was going to ask you if you could just give us a just like if you were to use it in a sentence.
Well, the sentence was something like, used to go on a lot of fishing trips. You got to be real quiet on the creek. That was the original sentence.
Sure.
Right?
But then we asked Tobin who his favorite was out of all of us, and Tobin said, I'm going to be quiet on the creek.
Yeah.
So I think that was perfect.
Oh, someone's knocking on my door.
Okay.
1 second.
Let's check it out. Jenna, keep us posted on who is at the door. It's probably too early for a pizza delivery.
That's wild.
Do you know my neighbor never leaves her home and she gets 3 or 4 food deliveries a day?
Really?
I know her. I've seen it.
Yeah. Have
Sounds
you
like-
seen that?
Yeah, she
It's
gets
weird.
cookies delivered too.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to Saucy Santana?
No. Well, there was a song from Saucy Santana a couple years ago. Used the phrase "material girl,"
Girl.
and that was actually slang of the week. This was probably 2 or 3 years ago at this point. Jenna, who was at the door? Oh, Jenna,
Jenna,
you
you're
have
muted.
been silenced.
So here's what happened. Our dishwasher's been leaking and our maintenance was coming to look at it for me. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm podcasting.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm
keep it
recording.
quiet
I said,
on
I'm recording something for work. Can you come back in an hour?
Yeah.
And they said, sure.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
hopefully we'll be done by then.
All right, pick it up.
Again, I feel like we should just keep most of this.
That's kind of unhinged already, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Again, the phrase is quiet on the creek, ladies and gentlemen. Quiet on the creek.
I suppose you could use that as a term, like if you were talking to your kids and they were making a lot of noise.
Yep.
You could also use it that way.
Yeah. It's time
So,
to be
like,
quiet on the creek.
Time to be quiet on the creek, Johnny.
Johnny.
Or if you're a director, and you're about to film a scene. Instead of saying quiet on the set.
You say quiet on the creek. That's crazy.
This is going to take over. This slang has this one has legs.
I think so.
I think it's going to be around for a minute.
Yep. That's right. Quiet on the creek is the phrase. Surely you understand everything that there is to understand about it now. All right, first thing from the top 3, Nightmare Daughter. Beloved by some Gen Z artist Gracie Abrams told Jimmy Fallon on a recent interview that her latest album, which is called Daughter from Hell, was a decades overdue apology to her mom. Daughter from Hell. Because she herself thinks that you get it.
Yeah.
All right. Jenna, tell us about Gracie Abrams. What's unique about her as a musician? Why do you think people like her?
Her music is very fun to listen to and often is used in TikTok edits, and young women everywhere going through anything tend to really like her music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times,
young women everywhere going through anything tend to really like her music.
That seems like a very large audience.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
Gracie.
people.
Yeah, that is. So, what I would take from that is that Gracie Abrams writes about a large breadth of difficult experiences, and lots of listeners find something to connect with across different parts of her music. Is that what you meant?
Not necessarily difficult, because it's like you can go through anything, and not everything is difficult. So there's just some things that are like.
Well,
I would just interject there. I've listened to some Gracie Abrams. She doesn't have a song for like, you're having the best day ever.
I'm gonna write
Well,
it.
man, I'm having an amazing day. I bet Gracie Abrams has something to say about it. No, it doesn't
exactly.
happen.
Yeah. Well, the phrase Jenna used was when you're going through something, right? Which is, I mean, typically if something good is happening, I don't say I'm going through another great experience. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I want to start over.
No, I feel like this is
Keep
going well.
Jenna. Keep going.
Keep it up.
So Gracie Abrams is going on her little press tour promoting her album, and she's talking with Jimmy Fallon, and like halfway through the interview, he's like, so the title,
Yeah.
like you don't really give that vibe of being this like awful person. So I'm just kind of like wondering about that. And she was like, oh yeah, I was totally brutal to my mom. I was just like a really rough teenager. We had a lot of friction in our relationship. And she was like, I know this is like not wildly uncommon, but I still feel really guilty about it and whatever. And so she wrote this song about her mom, which is very sweet. It's really interesting when you listen to it. It's this like distorted electric guitar in the background, and it sounds kind of like edgy and dark. And then the lyrics are all very kind and affirming of her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying, I want your grace, your sugar, your patience, your goodness, all these different things. Even the opening line is, I was a pill, you swallowed me down, which I think is such a beautiful, like, just sounds like a line from a poem.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, the song is really lovely, but it is the only track really that relates to her relationship with her mom. And it is the last track that she wrote and recorded for the album. So it's kind of like the cherry on top. But I think a lot of people were expecting this album to be a little bit more angsty and a little bit darker. She uses a lot of like violent imagery, talking about like knives and blood. But it kind of, for me and for a lot of reviewers, falls a little flat because she doesn't include a lot of detail. For artists like other pop girlies like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, the reason their songs resonate with people so much is because they go off of the rule of what is most specific is most universal. So like Taylor Swift with her red scarf, Olivia Rodrigo singing about crying on the curb at LAX. Those things might have not happened to you specifically, but it takes you to a moment like that, maybe in your own story.
Okay.
And Gracie's album doesn't have a lot of that. It's just kind of a lot of general language, a lot of general metaphors. There's some moments that are fun, that are specific, that paint a picture. But for the most part, she's kind of lacking that. And so I think there's not as much of an emotional payoff with a lot of her music, even though it's really fun to listen to. And there are some beautiful lines of lyrics.
Maybe she took a page from her dad's book, J.J. Abrams, when it comes to lack of emotional payoff.
Wow.
No, someone said in a YouTube comment, this is like the Force Awakens of albums.
I'm still mad about the
That
way
is-
Lost ended, okay? Like,
Gosh, that is a brutal comment.
You know what?
I love J.J.
you know-
Abrams, okay? I was just mad about it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I was really happy about, having, parented my now adult daughters through their teenage years, there's only one explicit song on the album. And so it's literally one of the albums that I could have given my kids at 12 or 13. They would have loved it, and I wouldn't have been concerned about them listening to
Mad
it.
about it, yeah.
And that's, to me, like, even some of Taylor's stuff, like, she'll drop an F-bomb every now and then.
Oh, more than every now and then.
Yeah, but this album doesn't have that, and I
Mhm.
really appreciated that.
It does have a lot of references to being high, just so we know.
Yeah,
'Cause that doesn't get marked as explicit.
And you said something about there's a fair bit of self-harm references and kind of violent references in there too, right, Jenna?
Okay, I take it back. I would never give this album to my teenage daughters.
Well, that is an interesting
No, just want to paint a full picture
Yeah.
because I agree, Tobin. Like, I think for a mature teen girl, she could listen to this album for the most part. There's some references. I'm trying to remember which song about taking our clothes off that comes up, and then a lot of like high drinking, different things. Those are like themes and things that are talked about. And then in I believe it's the second song on the album, it's called Death Wish. She talks about like, let me pull up the lyrics actually, 1 second.
I guess the way I'm thinking about it is compared to so much of all of the other stuff that's out there, this feels
Totally.
fairly safe. And maybe it's just
Mhm.
because there's so much bad stuff out there.
Mhm.
But when I listened through it, I was like, I'm not offended by this. Like I can turn it on in the office and not feel bad.
So one of the lyrics from Death Wish is, "Till you twist the knife with a smile while you kill me. Then you ask me to dance if there's someone around. You don't look the same when I look at you now." So a lot of it
But
is
Shakespeare
connected
could have
with,
said that.
with like betrayal
I'm
and things like that, and using it as a metaphor.
the sort of tension between like Jenna, the way you're kind of explaining some of the lyrical themes, and Tobin, the way you're like, oh, I think it's a nice, wonderful opportunity. I'm
Compared to Saucy Santana,
well,
No, compared to House Tour, Sabrina Carpenter, it's like, yeah, sure.
okay,
Like,
Yeah.
I'll take this.
okay.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. By comparison, one, it would create an emotional connection. It would have with my kids when they were that age. And compared to so much else that's out there, this is one that I would have said, okay, you can listen to
And
that.
perhaps even a good way to start some conversation. you
Oh,
know?
for
Totally.
sure.
Well,
For sure.
Irene, it sounds like you've got a conversation starter in your mind.
I would play this song to my daughter and be like, so is there anything that you want to tell me?
that's insane.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the lyrics? Yeah.
Does this resonate with you?
Yeah.
Always sending her music.
Yeah.
I actually avoided sending this one to her because it was like, I'm sure she's
A
listened
little
to.
too on the nose, you think?
Yeah, I didn't want to be like, I was like, this song made me, because she does say a lot of like very kind things to me and how she wants to be like me, whatever. But I thought, I was like, I'm not going to send her this one. What would a conversation starter be?
Well, tell you what, before you go there, I want to ask Jenna and maybe the crew, do you guys think that this album will inspire other young women to apologize to their mothers?
That's a great question.
Man, if I could have apologized to my mother a decade sooner, that would have been really cool.
Mm.
I wish I had understood my mom and her parenting and the things that she was sacrificing and doing for me and the way she was raised. If I could have understood that in my 20s, it would have been so I would have gotten back a lot.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
So you're saying you wish you had
I
had this
wish-
song.
but you can't. You can't, like, I just feel like you can't fully know, maybe until even your 30s or even later, like, understand the
Yeah.
full
Mhm.
breadth of sacrifice and what it takes to
Right.
raise a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it would be cool to contemplate that sooner.
Maybe she's gonna make apology cool again.
Ooh.
I would love if this inspired young women to encourage their moms outside of Mother's Day and just like appreciate them. I don't necessarily relate to the song or the album because I was a very well-behaved teenager. So I know I wasn't perfect and was definitely super annoying at times, but I wasn't like, I'm sneaking out. I'm causing these problems. I'm fighting with you. Like, I was chill. Like, the craziest thing I was doing was getting Taco Bell at 11 p.m. and my mom was like, bring me back a burrito.
Yeah.
The vibes were very chill. So I think even if you have a good relationship with your mom, if you've apologized to your mom, you can still like relate to the song and be like, yeah, there's all these great things about my mom that I would love to be. And I feel like a lot of times we just think those things and we don't tell our moms or the people in our life. So I just felt encouraged listening to it of like how life-giving it would be to receive that kind of like encouragement from your child or from someone in your life. I think a lot of times we wait until funerals to be like, oh, here's all these amazing things about this person. And it's like, no, we should tell them now.
That's real.
While we're still with them, because we never know how long we'll have with our parents. So
that's real.
That's good. So the teenage years have always been turbulent for celebrities and non-celebrities alike because it's essentially a time of trying to construct our identities. Today, though, there are more and more tools on the table that can be applied or not for doing that. That brings us to our second big conversation, because I'm not going to call Quiet on the Creek a big conversation. That was just a little appetizer. Peptides for the people? Question mark. Researchers have expressed concern over the rise of unregulated injectable peptides as young people order them off of what's sometimes called the gray market, which we'll talk a little bit about in a minute, in pursuit of the perfect body. Before we jump into this section, I'll just say up front, we are not medical professionals, in case that wasn't obvious. Just up front, I'll be honest and say I did not really know what a peptide was before we began digging into this topic. Am I alone? Am I just kind of a dunce on that front?
Already like exists in your body. It's a chain of amino acids that build protein. It's like the building blocks of protein that already exist in your body.
Okay.
Okay, biology teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
And
are we all supposed to just know this?
Yeah, I don't. I'm like, of course.
So
yeah, for sure.
The fact.
Keep going, Irene.
So I mean, okay, let's talk about all the peptides and the GLP-1s and all these things. So even GLP-1s, that is the weight loss drug that is trending.
Yep. That you inject.
That you inject. It has helped a lot of people, but it's also become like a point of obsession.
Yeah.
And I think that, if you think back to being a teenager or, eating disorders, like, can you imagine like being able to get your hands on something that is pretty much guaranteed to make you lose weight? Like that sounds really dangerous. So GLP-1s has a lot of health benefits outside of weight loss. It's good for cardiovascular health. It prevents strokes. It is good for kidney and liver like there's a lot of great things. It's been studied for long periods of time. Now, an adult human body in their 30s or 40s is a very different body than a teenage body that's growing, hormones are changing, etc. So I think at that in combination with these peptides that are unregulated, unstudied, being sold on places like Amazon that you just inject into your body.
Well, isn't it you buy the syringe on Amazon, you get the actual peptide stuff from a variety of legal but unofficial sources.
Well, they can be pharmacies even from outside the U.S. So, there's one in China. And so what chemists have done is they've ordered and studied what has come out of these syringes, and it can be labeled as one thing and be something entirely different. So you're ordering...
which is the issue with regulation.
Exactly. So you're ordering this stuff from overseas or wherever and just injecting it into your body blindly. Fingers crossed, I hope this is it. And then not only that, they're stacking them. So there's so many different kinds of peptides that do different things for your body first off, we don't even know if that's what you're getting in your syringe.
Yeah.
But then stacking them and then also being a young person, like this is incredibly dangerous. And it's really difficult because I really do blame social media for this. Influencers like are even I think it was like Gwyneth Paltrow,
Yep.
maybe Jennifer Aniston. Is that right?
I saw Paltrow. I didn't.
They're marketing and advertising this as such a good thing, and it's like teens are watching this. Teens are watching influencers just get dangerously skinny, and that is the danger of it, and it's scary.
What do you guys think the psychology would have to be of someone to order drugs, to order unregulated peptides that get shipped over from China, to then take that and inject that directly into their body?
Because we're obsessed with youth. Like Jenna and I have had this conversation a few times, and even she's helped me look at some of these angles differently. And it's like we're obsessed. It's like the main thing that we care about is how we look, and I think that is really built from like Sephora and clothing lines and all these things. Like, how beautiful and young can we look for as long as we can look? You know what I mean? People are getting like neck surgeries in like early to remove a padding in your neck that is just natural and normal, and like at young ages. And it's just like, it's because this is our primary identity. And I wish I could have started having these conversations with my daughter much younger about like physical body, but it's not something that I feel like I even understood or really started to think about more actively until even just recently. And now I feel really on fire about it. And I think that it's important to start having these conversations with our kids in their tweens and teens about identity and having it be in Christ first, because I think that will impact the way that we look at our physical bodies too, I don't know, Jenna, I know you've got more to say.
Yeah, Evan, to answer your question, and Irene, I love everything that you said. I think the psychology is pretty simple in the sense that so many young women, I don't have any stats in front of me, but there's so much data around young women specifically struggling with eating disorders, young men as well, a little bit of a bit lower percentage there, but that's still real. But I can obviously only speak from like the young female perspective. I had so many friends growing up that had eating disorders, and it was so hard to want to like support and love my friends through that. And as someone who didn't struggle with that, I didn't really understand. And as I've gotten older and my body's changed and I've gone through my own body image crap that I think every woman goes through at one point or another, I completely understand the temptation of buying some random drugs and being like, this is going to fix my problems. And you're not going to alarm the people around you when for lunch you just eat half a salad and your friends are like, what's wrong? Whatever. Like this, it's more of a private thing. I think, first of all, I think there's something about that that's nice. And I think it's just marketed as like, this is just an easy solution to this problem versus it used to be that like an eating disorder was a kind of, it's a kind of pathology that we saw clearly and would be like, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to, an inpatient situation, or we need to help you through recovery, different things. But now it's like, you can just skip over that and say like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this GLP-1, and everyone's like stamp of approval. And like Irene said, there's a lot of benefits to it. And its original purpose was not just weight loss. It has other things that help people. But I think the idea of like a quick weight loss drug is just so alluring because young women experience so much psychological distress around their bodies and what their bodies look like. Yeah. And they do get treated better when they are thinner. And I can imagine that it would relieve a lot of that distress if you're able to like resolve that in a quote healthy way.
What I heard Evan saying though was like, why would you take something that you got in an unmarked package from China and inject it into your
I
body.
think
Yeah,
it's just
that's what I was-
desperation.
Well, okay,
for,
that's what I was
for
wondering.
this
'Cause it-
fountain of youth.
Because it's like the GLP ones, the Ozempic is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like those are more regulated, right? So there's a little more of a sense if you know what you're getting. But yeah, like ordering something from an unregulated overseas market and injecting that into my body, it just feels like such a leap of faith
Well,
for
it's
someone to make.
disordered. Like if you think disordered and like eating, like it's disordered thinking too. Like you are not like it's an obsession. You need to be thin. You need to look this way because then, like Jenna's saying, so that people are going to treat you better. And she's not wrong. They do. You know what I mean? And that's difficult. And I think people are doing that out of pure desperation. I will do anything
And
to look thin.
I think part of it is brain chemistry as well. Like we know that teenage brains are still developing and that there's a lesser ability to think about consequences.
Yeah.
Right? Like we know that
Totally.
factually that teenagers just have a harder time drawing connections to the consequences of their behaviors. So you take something that's highly compelling like weight loss and you attach that to I'm not worried about the consequences and you can get into a pretty scary place pretty quickly.
For sure.
Would you guys say that the main thing people are using these peptides for is weight loss or to look young?
I think it's weight loss and bodybuilding
Mhm.
is
Weight
is
loss,
from what I
muscle,
understand.
like
Yeah.
recovery.
I think Botox and baby Botox and that stuff is used. I mean, peptides are also used in skincare products. I think it's beauty. I think it's the allure of being beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you're using a GLP-1, and again, I don't have data. This is just my opinion. If you are using Ozempic or GLP-1s, you're probably more likely to use Botox as well. You're probably more likely to use these other peptides because you are really interested in optimization of what you look like in your body. And I see that a lot with influencers. And to answer your first question, Evan, about why young women are intaking these, or why women are getting these products from these foreign suppliers that are not the most legit, it seems. I think it's because these influencers that have this appearance, this body that they desire, are saying, this is what I use. And it's the same thing as Hailey Bieber having a skincare line. And it's like, girl, you have access to all of these different things that you can use to optimize your skin. Like, of course you have great skin. It's not because of your glazing milk. But then people buy it and are like, because it's so, the association is so strong with like, this is a beautiful person. They're using this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even like
so it's just like basics of advertising. I feel like
the gambling thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago, how influencers were recording themselves winning even though they weren't, and then people were like downloading this app. Like the social media is just such a scam. There's just scams everywhere, you know, and so I think
they call them influencers for a reason, right? Like
right.
So
yeah.
I wish they would keep a little more of that quiet on the creek. I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm with you,
that
man.
part.
I mean, I
unfortunately, they're incentivized to make so much money off of people's insecurities, so they won't be stopping.
I feel like this is one of the most important conversations we could help start here. Irene, I jokingly asked you to come up with a conversation starter last time, and then we just cut to the next section. But now I'd love to really ask you, like, how does a parent start to talk about some of this stuff?
You know, I think depending on where your kid is at, obviously, with some of this stuff, I think that a simple way in could be, do you feel the pressure from culture and social media to change your body?
Yeah.
Is that?
That's a great question.
No, I think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it can just, there's so many more questions and so many like pretty intimate conversations.
I think you can
have.
even ask a question like, are you comfortable in your own skin?
Oh, I mean, what teenager's going to say they are? You think?
I think if they say no, I really don't, that's when the good conversation happens, right?
Agreed.
I mean, I think very few teens, like to your point, would say, oh yeah, I feel great in my own skin.
Right.
Like who does that? But if you prompt that as a parent knowing, hey, this is going to open up a broader conversation.
Yeah.
Because my kid for sure is going to say, no, I don't.
Yeah. That's
No, I
great.
don't.
I love
So,
that.
And maybe that might help you get to specifically why.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hey, I'm Bree. I just wanted to pop in and say that today's episode is made possible thanks to The Table. That's our amazing community of monthly givers who make sure that Access resources stay free for families everywhere. So if your family's been impacted by what Access does and you want to pass that on to other families, I'd love to invite you to join us at The Table. Head to www.access.org/The Table and join us today.
Now, for some people, injecting an unregulated serum into their body that some influencer told them to inject might feel like a bit too much, bit of a bridge too far. But others might be willing to do something else an influencer told them to do. For example, if Kylie Jenner said, hey, I've got these new Meta Smartglasses with my own voice coming out of them. You should use that, put that on your face, and begin to film others. That brings us to our final topic this week. See you all summer. Meta Glasses collaborated with Kylie Jenner on the design for what is called the Starfire Kylie edition of the smart glasses. These have built-in cameras, as we've come to expect, speakers, and artificial intelligence, voiced by Jenna herself.
Not Jenna.
Jenner.
Kylie.
Yeah.
Oh, Jenner.
By Jenna Mendel.
It's like I heard
By
Jenna.
Jenna Mendel.
I wouldn't mind having Jenna in my head, but I certainly
You
have
don't
not
gotta-
woken up in the morning and gone, I wish I was hearing Kylie Jenner's voice more
Yeah.
often.
The goal was to create, quote, a new way to see and share your world. People were not happy about that. They don't want a new way to see and share their world. They don't want to normalize mass surveillance as a fashion accessory. My first question is to you, Tobin. Kylie Jenner has previously spoken out about the difficulty of living in the public eye. This is a kind of contradiction that Jenna, not the voice of the AI in the glasses, brought to our attention. This has been something she's been really kind of open about. It's hard to be in the public, to have people following you around, taking pictures of you all the time. So why do you think she would decide to partner with Meta to create a product that essentially made it easy to do the very thing that has been so frustrating
It's
for her?
money. It's money. She's
Pure
getting
money?
She's getting paid a fortune to do it. And I think that's, to going back to an earlier conversation that we've had, like, that's why influencers do what they do, right? And that's why so many teenagers are like, when I grow up, I want to be an influencer. Like, we've reported before that one of the most aspirational jobs that a kid can have is, I want to be an influencer when I grow up. Influencers get paid for influencing, and she walked away with a paycheck. It's also probably good for her brand, her personal brand, but I don't think it's going to last.
The question that Jesus asked comes to mind here. What good is it to gain the entire world and to lose your soul? It feels like Jenner is literally
Period.
like, she's like, well, I have hated this, but
So
if I
here's-
can't beat him, I'll join him.
That's
That's what it feels like.
Here's a couple thoughts. I don't see a mass rush amongst most influencers to use this product. If you go back, Google Glass, you and I talked about this
Mhm.
earlier. Google Glass came out in 2013. It did a lot of the same stuff. It sold for $1,500 and they sold 200,000 pairs.
Yeah.
Now they're selling for $399 and 4 million, I think was the number we reported, have sold. However, here's
7
what I'm
million.
curious about.
7 million.
Oh my
7
gosh.
million. Okay, that's a lot. I wonder if this is really going to catch on in its current form, because if you look at influencers, the most important thing they can put on camera is themselves.
Yeah, this is a very interesting point.
And so I'm curious, as an influencer, do I really want people to see what I see, or do I want people to see me?
yeah.
And so that's where I think it becomes very interesting on the influencer front. Are influencers going to adopt it to say, here's what I'm looking at, or here's
Yeah.
what I'm interested in, and to take the camera off themselves?
Which honestly sounds like a potentially really, I would even say, beautiful side effect of the popularization of this, even though on the whole, I'm pretty freaked out by it. If what it started to kind of normalize was maybe there's something more worthwhile to film than my own face.
Yeah, and I'll even
Right.
take it back a little bit. I mean, if you look at the use of this product, it's more similar to what you would get from a GoPro
Yeah.
than you would get from your phone because it's harder to film yourself with a GoPro
Mm-hmm.
than it is with a the selfie camera. I'm just really curious. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
honestly curious. I think the fact that they have sold 7 million units really does have to do with brilliant marketing and a great aggressive pricing strategy. But I also wonder what the audience is for this product, right?
well-
Are 12, 13, 14-year-old kids asking for Meta
Yeah.
Smartglasses, or
Yeah.
are older people who kind of think differently about how this works
Yeah.
buying those?
Well, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of the smart glass
Discourse.
product discourse, has tended to be a little more male coded. Like men are going to get this and they're going to film women without women's consent. But these glasses are made to look like female
Mhm.
glasses.
Right.
Well, the Kylie Jenner ones are targeted at women.
Yeah, right,
for
right,
sure.
right. So
Yeah,
that's,
that was like the gap in their marketing
Yeah.
before,
Mhm.
was that they were like ugly glasses. That's why women didn't want to wear them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even the Ray-Ban ones they came out with are fine, but they are very like male.
Man coded.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
just
styled
look
after
like
the
a pair that a guy
Wayfair
would wear.
glass for people that remember what that looks like. But
yeah,
I really don't know who they're selling these to. And I think until we get more data around, the age and stage that people are at when they're
yeah.
asking for these things or making a purchase is really going to be curious.
Would any of you own these?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Irene, no.
My life is so
Jenna,
boring,
no?
dude. Like what? People are going to see my email. They're going to look at my Slack messages.
Just like
I
me in
think-
front of my computer.
I can
Yeah.
go back to us. I mean, we'd had a conversation about surveillance before, maybe even the glasses. Like, I can go back to like maybe. Do you remember like the Christmases our parents would like set up a video camera and like record 6
Mhm.
hours straight of you unwrapping presents? Like, who's ever
Yeah.
gonna watch that or whatever?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I guess it would be interesting to see like, hey, like recording the point of view of your baby taking your first steps and like things like
put
that.
these on your baby's face.
No, like you, like watching. I think there
Girl,
there are
what?
sweet things that can be done with not
but
having
who's
to hold
the audience
a phone.
for that? Who's
That's-
the
But I
audience?
feel like you can do that with the phone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, then you don't have to have your phone. I mean,
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that's not 12, 13, 14-year-old behavior. Like, I think when you're older,
Right.
capturing those moments
yes.
becomes very powerful. Everybody that I know that has actually purchased these is older than 40,
Huh.
right? And I know
Yeah.
several people
Yeah.
that have, but it's not
Yeah.
kids because I don't
Yeah.
think
Do you
kids
think
are wanting to broadcast their life as much as they're wanting to broadcast themselves.
Mm. Oof. Man. Say more about that.
So if you look at influencers, if you look at your social media, people are not taking pictures of their context, right? They're not showing
Yeah.
the behind the scenes of their home studio. They're showing themselves. Like Speed is a great example. Like a lot of people will know the influencer is named Speed. He has a film crew follow him around now, right? He's not even holding his camera taking selfies. He's got like a group of people and handlers and bodyguards and all this stuff that allow him to make his content
Mm.
because he wants to be on camera and he wants to be the brand.
Yeah.
If he puts on a pair of, Meta Smartglasses, people are going to see what he sees. Why would he want them to see that? Because that's not how he's growing his brand. He's growing his brand by saying, I'm this independent guy and I'm running around doing all these
Yeah.
crazy cool things. And if he had Meta glasses on, what you would see is his bodyguard, his producer, his cameraman, his...
Do you think that our culture is ultimately too self-centered for this product to work?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's what drives social media, right? It's not, hey, here's, cool pictures of my vacation. Great, I get that. But people want to see themselves in the
What
picture.
about the ill intent though?
Mm.
The ill intent piece of it?
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah, that's just creepy and wrong, right?
Well,
like,
sure.
Well, you say more about your
But I
question,
mean,
Irene.
they have, and again, this is maybe the man side of it, but maybe now that there's a female version of it, maybe they could be the antagonists. But like, there have been so many videos of men like asking out a woman or whatever, and then posting it online, like, or the interaction and posting it online. So
But here's the deal. People are going to catch on to that in about 2 seconds because they've sold 7 million pairs.
Yeah.
So there's no mystery around, oh, you can buy glasses that will record people, right?
But there are.
And so I think there's going to be an awareness of people. Somebody comes up to you with a pair of heavy framed black glasses with clear lenses. That screams you're about to
But
be
they
recorded.
can still
right?
post it, like whether it's following someone around or whatever. They can. That the freedom of posting.
But you can do
it
that with
still
your phone.
exists.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I guess that's true.
You can
And are-
record and post anything these days.
Are you saying maybe people will be less likely to talk to strangers?
Absolutely.
With those
Yeah,
with
glasses
these
on.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, because you see them coming from a mile away. These are not like subtle eyewear, right?
So
Like,
do you think that they would potentially invent something that is less subtle?
oh, they will, of
For
course.
sure.
Yeah.
They will,
And
of
that is
course.
what-
yeah,
it
there's
was a
an
little
app
scary.
right now I've seen people talk about on TikTok. It might be an app or a website that tells you if there are Meta glasses near you.
Why?
I
So
love
like
that.
if you were on the subway or something and you thought someone was watching you or whatever, you could like see them. Which I don't know how
Because-
that works, and I haven't fact checked that. I just remember seeing that.
So because if they have, the Jennas of the world speaking out of the sides of them, that would be connected to AI, right? Which would be connected to the internet, and so then you could actually have a signal on
Yeah.
on that
Mm.
type of
Mhm.
thing. Assuming this is a real product that you're talking about, which I believe. I'm not doubting that.
Let's just remember this is all about money, right? Like I say that every time I'm on the podcast, but at the end of the day, Meta wants to make money.
I know,
And
and,
so
they're such a
they love
powerful
the-
force.
They love the controversy and they love the confusion and they love the wringing of hands and because it just gets their product in front of more people, right? And so I
Yeah.
think at the end of the day we have to remember they paid for Kylie Jenner, they paid for their partnership with Ray-Ban, they paid for all of the technology to be produced all so that they can generate revenue because they're a publicly held company and that's what publicly held companies do. They're not trying to make the world a better place.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
will advertise it that
yeah.
they are, but they're not. And so the fact
To
that we
share
would
your world
Yeah.
yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
marketing slop they said. A new way to see and share your
See
world.
and share your world.
I think like what you were bringing up, Irene, of like the home video of it all, I think it could be really sweet for moments like that. And I think there's something like as you're describing that of like, oh, I could be in the moment. I'm doing air quotes for those who aren't watching on YouTube. Like you could be in the moment and just like click record and then you're not on your phone, but you're still engaging with technology. And I mean, I'm wearing a smart ring right now. Like wearable technology is becoming
Mhm.
more and more of a thing. Like Apple Watches, I feel like are so normalized, like Oura rings, different things like that. And I think it's just going to like wearable technology is the future. Like I think it makes sense. And I think that
Yeah.
like Tobin mentioned, Google Glass, which was like 13 years ago, which is
Mhm.
really
Crazy.
funny.
Yeah.
They really tried to do something and it just flopped. Snapchat did like Snapchat spectacles, which also flopped. So it's interesting to kind of just see this attempt. And I think that this, like in the next 10 years, I could see this becoming a much more common thing that people have and more maybe regulations on it. But also, when it comes to filming in public, with my bachelor's of journalism, I can speak to reasonable expectation of privacy. So if
Mhm.
you're in a public space, there are some states that have laws about like one party, two party consent with different things, and you see that a lot with like law enforcement when it comes to like body cams and stuff. Like you're able to say like, please don't record me, whatever. But for the most part, if you're in public, you are allowed to be filmed and you can move forward with a defamation suit or different things like that. But like for the most part, you're out in public, therefore you're allowed to be recorded, which is weird. But I also think we can all relate to like the amount of times I'm just sitting at a coffee shop and I'm like, oh, I'm in her picture. Like she's just taking a picture of for her Instagram story and I'm just like in the background and can't do anything about it. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's just going to become more and more of a thing. And that makes me a little sad.
I would say
Fine.
that is my fear. Like that Meta is such a monster. Like they're so huge. I mean,
Yeah.
who can compete with Meta? Even if maybe there are versions of this that aren't super effective or the sales aren't high, I do think Meta will win. And I think that they will find the gap, whether it could be teenagers in the future. Right now it's women. Are they going to go for the younger audience in the future? Maybe. Meta makes me feel scared.
I think they might win. I feel like the jury's still out. I
Yeah.
feel like they spent a bajillion dollars on the metaverse and nobody cared. So like maybe this will be their, left turn into the future, but I don't know. Like,
Evan, let's just cancel the internet.
Maybe it's time to delete the internet.
Yeah, let's just cancel it all.
That's an inside joke.
Let's just hope that this is their Google Glass.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, yeah. Like,
It's all it is Google Glass in a better package with better marketing and better representation, right?
But didn't Google
also
Glass,
it has AI too.
And didn't Google Glass like show you things in front of your eyeball?
Yeah.
Whereas this will just talk to you.
Right.
So it's
kind of like Siri or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely advanced. But that's the nature of how technology works. I mean, Google Glass was proof of concept.
Yeah.
Right? Like we can get people to put something on their face that gives them access to technology, right? So this is just that fast forward 13 years.
Yeah.
I'm with Evan. I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they went out the door really strong. I think there was a lot of early adopters of the product. I don't know what happens next.
I
don't
you're
see.
Right. I hope you're right.
I don't know that kids are going to do it. I wonder about the action sports application for these.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot to think about there.
Yeah.
Because if I'm skating or I'm riding my bike or do whatever, like there's some cool stuff that I can do with that. But influencers not going to embrace this product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's fascinating.
I said it here first. We'll see if it turns out to be true.
I hope that you're right.
Tobenheim said it here first. Jenna, what were you going to say? And then we need to wrap this up. We gotta.
Sorry.
Yeah. I know.
I think Tobin's point about like most of the people buying this are over 50, it seems like, is really interesting because I was getting lunch with a friend last week and she was talking about at the organization that she works for, how a lot of the older people at the org love ChatGPT, love Claude, and her younger coworkers all hate it and don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is going to be like more of a common thing. And it takes me back. I had this other conversation with a friend and she was talking about Cybertrucks. And she was talking about how like Gen X and baby boomers like love Cybertrucks because it's this like idealized like futurism that they kind of grew up like hearing about and dreaming of. And so I think that AI is that maybe as well. And I think younger people, especially Gen Alpha, I mean, they're just being raised in a world of AI. But I think Gen Z seeing AI kind of like, I mean, AI has been around for a long time, but the way we understand it now, like large language models and things like that, I think that with Gen Z, there is just more like disenchantment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think older generations are like, oh, wow, like this is the future. And then younger generations like aren't really thinking anything of it.
So I'm going to drop some anthropology on you and then we can wrap up. I know you're anxious to do so. Younger people will always aspire to be like older people. And older people will always aspire to be like younger people. If you're 12, you want to do what a 16-year-old does. If you're 16, you want to do what a 20-year-old does. At a certain point, you cross over and you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s, and you want to be like the younger people. You want to be cool and hip and relevant. I think people that are buying Meta glasses want to be cool and hip and relevant, and I think they're missing the boat.
Fascinating.
Yeah, flip it around, buddy. Yeah.
That's very interesting. We've had a lot of fun here today. We've laughed.
Wait, conversation starter.
Yeah. Tobin, what's a conversation starter off of this topic?
I think you could ask kind of a crazy question. Like, if you were able to record one day in your life, do you think anybody would want to watch it?
Bro.
I love that question.
That's low-key a roast.
I feel like, exactly. I feel like it's like,
But I think sometimes with kids, and especially the age, you have to ask a compelling question in order to get the conversation started. Some questions are easier to lean into.
Yeah.
I think something outrageous, like if you just recorded your day,
do
you think people would want to watch it? And a kid says, no, there's no chance I would want people to see my day. Man, that's an interesting conversation. Yeah, of course, everybody would want to see what I do because my life is great. Yeah. That's a different conversation. So I would just go all in and be like, if you did it, would people care?
Yeah,
bro.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
I wonder if it would even if somebody had these glasses, I wonder if there would even be an incentive to like, I'm going to go have some real experiences. I'm going to go learn. I'm going to go get my motorcycle license.
I'm going to skydive.
I'm going to put these things on, and then I'm going to be living the life that I can perform best to the world, which is a dumb reason to do it. But I wonder whether that could happen. And then people have more experiences. I don't know. We're trying to be hopeful here. on the Culture Translator Roundtable?
To join therapy in 5 minutes, just so.
Is it because of this podcast? Is it because of what happened here today? Thanks for tuning into the Roundtable this week. On your way out, here's Irene Tucker with a quick survey of some of the rest of the cultural landscape. Irene, take it away.
All right. According to the Wall Street Journal, the popularity of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is convincing many students to finally read the epic poem that many English teachers couldn't coax them into reading. Tobin has a funny story about this. He saw a young girl.
There was a young 20-something woman at the pool where I go, and she was reading The Odyssey. She's like telling her boyfriend or some guy she was with, I have to finish this before I see the movie. And she was on page 3.
Oh, man.
And the book is
take
as
you a
thick
bit.
as a phone book. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
Of course, many of you have not seen a phone book, but I was like, oh, you don't know what you're getting into.
We love for the teens to read epic poetry.
We love it.
And next week, we will be talking about the Odyssey. I know we said that last week, but we'll talk about it next week.
We're gonna keep
A wild
pushing
raccoon, Evan, in Seattle with a deformed spine has been dubbed Jimothy and has become an inspiration for perseverance in the face of setbacks, and some even getting tattoos of said raccoon.
Not all that different from Punch, the monkey.
Yeah,
Not all that
actually
different.
quite similar.
It's very, very similar to the airtime that
We
little
love-
disadvantaged
We
monkey
love
got.
critters.
Some people have mistaken this raccoon for potentially a chupacabra, which you might understand if you have seen the way it kind of maneuvers throughout the world.
Number 3, infamous online manfluencers Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested in Miami this Saturday and await the extradition to the UK for prosecution on rape and sex trafficking grounds.
They have a lot of charges against them.
Number 4, about 1/3 of people under 35 now live with their parents, according to survey data published by Realtor.com. Number 5, several members of Spain's World Cup winning team, like Torres and is it Rodri? You
Captain?
did this on purpose.
Captain?
You did this to get back at me, didn't it?
I don't think that's right. Let's go to Dr. Franz Lang from YouTube. Hold, please.
This name is pronounced Rodri. Rodri.
I'll take that one back. Here it goes. Several members from Spain's World Cup winning team, like Torres and Rodri, have publicly credited God and their Catholic faith for the team's World Cup victory.
Perfect. That is awesome.
And that's it for the roundup.
There you have it. We'll have links in the explore any of this further. For now, goodbye from your favorite podcast team, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Thanks so much for watching. This podcast is made possible because of our generous donor community, The Table. To help us support more parents and other caring adults through culture translation, we'd love to invite you to check out The Table by clicking right here. Also, if you've been impacted by what we do, would you consider letting us know with a like, comment, and/or subscription, as well as sharing this episode with someone you think could benefit? Thanks for caring about having intentional conversations with the next generation.